Seems like even when you kill the big snake lady, the big laser beam stays for a while. Waves completed. Break the barrels. Couple idols. Attempt harder waves. And we got a level up. Another point in Venom. Increasing the chance to poison for everything we create. Alright, open the loot. And nothing good. Alright, continue. Choose a buff for the final boss. He drops exalted jewelry or glyphs. But jewelry, the boss gets way stronger. Let's make it as weak as possible for our first attempt at the, what is this, tier 2 arena? And see what happens. I just dipped to half and then snapped back up. Summon Ice Beetle. Oh, hello, these are excellent. I'm glad you enjoy Coin and Moods. I expect them to get a lot of love on Mutiny Monday. That was a lot of damage. My fire resist is capped at 75%. And I had constant healings from those totems, but that still really hurt. Like, it was going to kill me if I didn't move out of it. Waves complete. Where's my boxes? There. A couple of items made it through the filter. Alright, continue. Attempt harder waves. I actually love these arena fights because my build is great for when enemies come to you instead of you having to go to them. I can just set up my, like, artillery line of plants and just let them come to me. Okay, loot. 30 waves completed. Attempt harder waves. Oh, wow, look at those options. So arena key and weaker boss, or guaranteed unique piece of armor, but the boss is like gets 4 times the buffs. All right, arena key this time. He's still going to be like over 100% stronger than baseline from the starting options. Oh my gosh, I just dipped to like 20% health for a second. I'm actually going to spread the plants out a bit instead of just summoning them all in a pile, because it has a better chance of keeping the enemy away from me. Because these are thick. They're starting to take longer to die. Also, why do I hear like church music? Is this Final Fantasy? If someone starts singing in Latin, that's when the panic sets in. Defeat the champion, Vion the Arsenal. Ow! What is he shooting me with? Healing totems. Keep going. From full health. Killing blow, fire and physical. He was under half. All right, so that move right there, the red one, the red cone, that was a one shot. Dude, he's dancing on my corpse. You punk! Oh my god, this is like some kid just Fortnite dancing over me. Oh, what is this? Oh my god. That was the weakest, I want to point out again, that was the weakest possible boss that we could have made. So, the arrow thing, I could handle that, but the red cone was a one hit. Even with maxed out fire resist. And I don't know how high my armor is compared to other players, but I know that it is much, much higher in Sylvan form. So my physical resist, I honestly don't understand physical resistance versus armor. Let me see, can we learn? Reduces damage taken from all hits, but not damage over time. Resistance. Reduces physical damage taken, capped at 75%. Enemies penetrate 1% resistance per area level up to 75. This pen applies after the resistance cap, so extra resistance above 75 has no effect. Do you have 100% crit avoidance? I think I have 78. The only crit avoidance I have seen so far is this, which is giving me 72. I have 72 right now. I don't think I've seen any on anything else. Brutal. That one hit though. All right.
Buying, selling.
Does endurance even calculate if you get one shot? I'm not sure it does.
Mukluk dancing.
Thank you Forever Zero. Welcome. Endurance counts during one-shot situations. Okay.
Safe travels.
Trying to think of what else I could do right now. Can't forge uniques. Then why does it let me freaking put the thing there? Oh my god. What was that? Woven flesh. 100% critical strike avoidance. Man. Is there... Let me see. Add rule. Show... Critical strike avoidance. Add that to the filter to allow... I'm not sure what items can even have that. But I guess I'll find out. Is there any other crafting I can do here? Look! I've got data! Woo! Just do raw health. On top of my head, CSA goes on helms, gloves, rings, and boots. Okay. Poison resist, endurance. Void resist, cooldown recovery speed. These have fizz resist. Fixes max, plus 33% fizz resist. Alright, so I'm getting all my fizz resist is coming from those boots. Can you forge these? No. I'm too smart for this system. Alright. Okay. Let's see. End of time. So next monolith, we beat the Black Sun. So next will be Blood, Frost, and Death. What's the trading like? I'm not sure. I've just been doing the magic find thing, the prophecy thing. Alright. Let's see. Take our pick. Where do we want to go? None of this matters. Alright, random. Now that AC is done, what's the next game you're gonna get into? I didn't want to start another evening game until after the Guild Wars 2 craziness of the next week was over. Once we finish Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne, probably gonna put Pacific Drive in the morning slot. Once I'm caught up on Guild Wars 2 duties and the new content, then I'll be finding another evening game for the evening slot to mix in. Maybe two. What are the green things you're spawning? Friends. Vines that are attacking. Like these right here are vines. And then these are healing totems, but they also count as spike totems, so they shoot the spikes. If If that boss did fizz damage spell, you had only 50% res for it, maybe not even crit. Yeah, maybe. I had really high armor class, but the thing is, I don't really understand fizz res versus armor. It seemed like, does it hit one then the other, or what? Because they both seem to have the same job. Like, they both deal with physical hits. So I'm kind of confused on that, but yeah, my fire resist was max, my fizz res was very low. Doesn't matter, picking one at random. Anything, armor is anything not a dot. Physical resist is anything that's physical. Okay, so what if it's a physical hit? How do they combine? Armor mitigates damage you take from hits, but has no effect on damage over time. Percentage of damage mitigated by armor depends on how much armor you have and the level of the area you're in. The same amount of armor provides less mitigation at higher levels, and the percentage of damage mitigated cannot exceed 85%. Armor is 70% as effective against non-fizz damage. So armor isn't just for physical in this game. It also helps versus hits from non-physical stuff. Resistances apply whenever you take damage, reducing how much damage you take. Resistances are one of the few ways to mitigate damage over time. If you have 10% physical resistance, you will take 10% less physical damage. Resistance is capped at 75, so having a resistance value of greater than 75 will not directly reduce the damage you take. Resistances can be reduced to negative numbers, with each 1% of negative resistance increasing damage taken of that type by 1%. Okay. So now I'm wondering, when he did that big cone attack, was that a hit? Like, what does the game consider a hit? Like, what is something that hits you and isn't a hit? Slay enemies to lure out an ambush. An important note, you didn't get to all enemies have resistance pin equal to their level. No, we read that. It's just, I understand resistances, and I understand penetration. I don't know that I've played an ARPG that had a physical resistance and then also armor. In most ARPGs, physical resistance, like, that was the job of armor. So the fact that this has both is what's kind of confusing me. Like, I've been working on the resistances. We got fire, lightning, cold, void, poison maxed. Necrotic and physical are suffering still, working on that. My armor is very high because of Sylvan form, but like this interaction here is the one that I'm trying to figure out. Hey, Flashy. Physical resist is probably for blading. That's probably one of its jobs, yeah. But read as written, it seems that, like, if I just get punched in the face, that Fizz Res and armor are both involved, but I don't know which one first. Like, if it's one then the other, or if there's just a formula with both, or what. Don't think the order matters as it's probably multiplied. Maybe. But that's the thing. Don't know for sure. But I will be trying to do whatever I can to get that higher. Might need to get a main hand weapon that is not a unique so that I can forge more stuff on it. Let's see. Or forge a unique. Forging a unique requires beating, I think, the dungeon that one-shot me the other night. I went in there, the boss did her first move, and it killed me. And I was like, okay. And chat's like, yeah, you didn't do the mechanic. And I was like, well, I was here for 2 seconds. I didn't have time to learn the mechanic. So trying that again is still on the list. Destroy the Venom Spire. Like, your sounds confuse me. I think I'm getting loot. Wait till someone gives 10 subs. You're gonna think that, you're winning in Vampire Survivors. Hey, my chat. Hi, Command! Yes! There we go! Oh boy! Thank you, Sergeant. Mukluk was about the original Discord, the fourth, Johnson, Stuffles, the third, was you, Aberiano, CEO to 90, Tank Kirik, Peeblesham, Plog, and now to 350, Vicious, Ringsong, Avgoon, and Sir Waffles to the lab. Hope you enjoy your entertainment on the way. Cricket the speakers, don't touch the speakers, giveaways every week, please take a keep it alone into the edge. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My brain still hopes for garlic, lol. Okay.
Yes.
What we got? Crit strike avoidance, but my void resistance would tank. Yeah. Wait, this amulet has fizz resist and necrotic resist. But I would lose +1 to a few skills. That's really nice. Good resistances, but man, losing that +1 to a few skills would be kind of a bummer. And the passive rage generation. And 25% increased armor while transforming. I'll hang on to this. I really don't want to swap to that. I may have to later.
Yes. Take care.
We'll see. Let's see. There's a key up there. We'll go for that. Airsty, thank you for the prime. Welcome. I love how unnecessarily long that sound effect is. It's funny. That's the when you open a legendary chest sound effect in Vampire Survivors. There's also like an epic chest and like a rare chest. I thought about using each of those like for 1 sub, 5 sub, 10 sub, and I was like, this might get too confusing. Muck channel locked in, pizza acquired, entertainment assured. I had pizza by for dinner. My kid and I had a DiGiorno. Wife cooked for us for lunch and dinner yesterday, and she's like, I need a break. You guys are on your own. I was like, alright. Who wants frozen pizza? What's the actual story of this game? It's actually really good, as long as you don't mind, you know, reading. But the actual story. All right, so you are in a timeline where it's a little primitive. You know, there's no like electricity or anything like that, but there's swords and magic and stuff like that. And you're under attack. There's like a war going on. You're in the middle of it. You know, it's two sides fighting. They both hate each other. They want each other's land or whatever. And you're fighting for your life, and you're going to help one of the sides. And on the way there, this guy that you're supposed to be meeting up with ends up getting kidnapped. So you go to get him back, and he's guarding this thing called the Epoch, which is like an artifact. And he's like, that's it, no more, it's no longer safe in this time. And you're like, wait, what? And then he activates it and throws both of you to the end of time. It's like literally the world has lost the war with chaos. And it's just like dark tar and sludge everywhere. There's not many stars in the sky. Most people are dead. There's monsters everywhere. And so you're just in the far, far future, and you're fighting for your life. And as you progress through the story, you end up getting a hold of the Epoch. And you are able to travel at will between these timelines. But basically, the plot is we lost. Like, whatever spooky stuff is coming out of space, like, we lost that fight. Humanity lost. The world is done. So what you're doing is you are trying to go back in time and find the point in time that was the turning point for us losing the battle against creation, and then change it. And so you're going back, and like, for example, in the Imperial era, there's this guy called the Immortal King, and he can literally make his servants immortal. So there's lots of like undead Egyptian type guys. It's very Joko-esque. So, you know, each timeline has its own threats. Ancient era is full of freaking T-Rexes. You know, each era has its own threats and stuff like that. But you can bounce between them. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. Hey Monk, I haven't seen this game before. Who is it for? Which games did you compare it with? Hello, Eredness. This is Last Epoch. It just came out a few days ago, but it has been available to play in early access for a couple years, and I have played it during that time quite a bit. It is an action RPG, similar to games like Diablo, Path of Exile, Grim Dawn, stuff like that. But